You're listening to Fluent Talk Academy.
There's a strange kind of loneliness that doesn't happen in an empty room. It happens when you're sitting at a dinner table with people you know. Everyone is talking, someone is laughing, your phone is right there. You're part of the conversation. But inside, something feels missing. You're physically there, but emotionally, you feel somewhere else.
And that feeling can be difficult to explain. Because if someone looks at you, they might think, you're not alone. You have friends, you have family, you have people around you. But loneliness isn't always about having nobody. Sometimes it's about feeling like nobody truly sees you.
And that's exactly what we're talking about today. Why can we feel lonely when we're surrounded by people? What actually causes this kind of loneliness? Why can hundreds of messages still feel less meaningful than one honest conversation? And most importantly, what can we actually do about it?
Hey everyone, welcome back to Fluent Talk Academy. I'm Mia.
And I'm Alex.
Here at Fluent Talk Academy, we explore real-life topics, human behavior, communication, emotions, and everyday situations through natural, easy-to-follow English.
So you're not just listening to a conversation. You're exploring ideas that can actually make you think about your own life.
And today's topic is one of those topics. So, Alex, let's start with the most important question. What exactly is loneliness?
When most people hear the word loneliness, they imagine someone sitting alone in a room. But that's only one form of loneliness. Psychologically, loneliness is more closely connected to the perceived lack of meaningful social connection. In simple words, you can have people around you and still feel emotionally disconnected from them.
So loneliness isn't necessarily about the number of people in your life. It's about whether your relationships give you a sense of connection, understanding, and belonging.
Exactly. Think about two people. Person A talks to dozens of people every day. They have hundreds of followers, they receive messages constantly, they go out often. But most of their conversations stay on the surface. How are you? I'm good. What are you doing? Not much. See you later. And that's it.
Now imagine person B. They have only two close friends. But with those two people, they can say, I'm having a difficult week. I'm scared about my future. I don't know what to do. I don't feel like myself lately. Who do you think may feel more connected?
Probably person B. Because there's a huge difference between being around people and feeling connected to people.
One major reason people feel lonely around others is that they don't feel truly seen. You may have conversations all day, but nobody asks about what you're actually feeling. Or maybe people know what you do, but they don't know who you are.
That's an interesting difference. Someone may know your job. They may know your favorite food. They may know where you live. They may know what shows you watch. But do they know what you're worried about? Do they know what you're hoping for? Do they know what keeps you awake at night?
And sometimes this happens because we don't show people the deeper parts of ourselves. We say, I'm fine, even when we're not. We smile when we're hurting. We make jokes when we're uncomfortable. We say, don't worry about me, when we actually need someone.
So here's the solution. You don't have to tell everyone everything. But with someone you trust, try being a little more honest. Instead of, I'm fine, try, honestly, I've been having a difficult week. Or, I've had a lot on my mind lately. That small change can open the door to a much deeper conversation.
Here's another important distinction. You can have plenty of interaction without having much connection. Interaction means you're communicating with someone. Connection means you feel emotionally close to them.
For example, you might spend 3 hours with your friends. You talk, you laugh, you eat, you take pictures, but you never talk about anything real.
Exactly. Everything stays on the surface. And that's not necessarily bad. Small talk is normal. It's how many relationships begin. But if every conversation stays at the level of small talk, you may eventually feel emotionally distant.
So what can we do? Ask better questions. Instead of, how was your day? Try, what was the best part of your day? Instead of, everything okay? Try, is there anything on your mind? Instead of, what are you doing this weekend? Try, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Those questions give people room to share something more personal. And meaningful connection often begins with genuine curiosity.
Now, let's talk about something deeper. Sometimes the problem isn't that other people don't accept us. Sometimes we're constantly worried that they won't.
You might walk into a room and immediately start thinking, how am I coming across? Do they like me? Am I saying the right thing? Do I look strange? Are they judging me?
And when you're constantly monitoring yourself, it's difficult to actually connect with other people. You're not enjoying the conversation. You're watching yourself have the conversation.
Exactly. And this can create emotional distance because genuine connection usually requires some level of comfort and authenticity. You don't need to perform all the time.
So the solution isn't to suddenly become extremely open with everyone. Start with small moments of authenticity. Say what you actually think. Admit when you don't know something. Laugh when something is genuinely funny. Say, I'm nervous about this. Say, I don't really feel like going out tonight. You don't have to create a perfect version of yourself for everyone.
Now, we have to talk about social media. Because we live in a time when it's easier than ever to contact people. Yet, many people still feel disconnected.
You can wake up and see hundreds of people online. You can receive notifications. You can watch someone's vacation. You can see someone's birthday party. You can watch people celebrating their achievements. And suddenly you start thinking, everyone has people except me.
But there's a problem with that comparison. You're seeing someone's highlight reel, not their entire life. You see the vacation. You don't see the stress behind it. You see the smiling photograph. You don't see the argument that happened before it. You see the celebration. You don't see the difficult days.
So, what's the solution? Not necessarily deleting every social media app. Instead, become more conscious of how you use them. If scrolling consistently leaves you feeling inadequate, jealous, or disconnected, take a break. Spend some of that time doing something that creates real connection. Call someone. Go for a walk with a friend. Have dinner without your phone on the table. Talk to someone face to face.
Because watching other people's lives isn't the same as participating in your own.
Here's another possibility. Sometimes you're not lonely because you're doing something wrong. Sometimes you're simply surrounded by people with whom you don't have much emotional compatibility.
That's true. You can be in a workplace where everyone is friendly, but nobody really understands you. You can attend a social event and realize that you don't share the same interests or values as the people there. You can even have a large friend group and still feel like an outsider.
And that doesn't mean everyone around you is bad. It may simply mean you haven't found your deeper connections yet.
The solution here is to look for shared values and shared interests, not simply more people. Join a group related to something you genuinely enjoy. Take a class, volunteer, join a community. Start a conversation with someone who shares an interest with you.
Because connection becomes easier when you have something meaningful in common.
There's another reason people sometimes overlook. You may actually want connection, but you're too emotionally exhausted to seek it.
That makes sense. If you've had a stressful week, you may not want to go to a party. You may not want to answer 20 messages. You may not want to explain how you're feeling. You just want to be quiet.
And that's okay. Sometimes what you need isn't more social activity. You need rest. Healthy solitude can be helpful.
And this gives us an important distinction. Solitude is not the same as loneliness.
Exactly. Solitude can be peaceful. You choose to spend time alone, and you feel comfortable. Loneliness is different. You feel disconnected, and you don't want to feel that way.
So if you're emotionally exhausted, don't force yourself into constant social activity. Rest. Reconnect with yourself. Then reach out when you have the energy.
Let's put everything together. If you're feeling lonely even when you're around people, don't immediately think, I need more friends. Start by asking better questions.
Question number 1. Do I feel comfortable being myself around the people in my life? If the answer is no, think about why.
Question number 2. Do I have someone I can talk to honestly? If not, start building one meaningful relationship rather than trying to become popular with everyone.
Question number 3. Am I spending more time watching other people's lives than living my own? If the answer is yes, reduce the scrolling and increase real-world interaction.
And question number 4. What kind of connection am I actually missing? Maybe you need someone to listen. Maybe you need emotional support. Maybe you need friendship. Maybe you need family time. Maybe you need community. Or maybe you simply need to reconnect with yourself.
And here's the good news. You don't have to fix everything today. Start with one person. Send a message. Something simple. Hey, I was thinking about you. How have you been? Or, we haven't talked in a while. Want to catch up sometime?
And when that person talks, actually listen. Don't immediately reach for your phone. Don't plan your response while they're speaking. Give them your attention. Ask another question. Remember what they tell you.
Because sometimes connection isn't created by saying something extraordinary. It's created by making someone feel heard.
And that's something we can all do.
So, why do we feel lonely even when we're around people? There isn't just one answer. Sometimes we don't feel seen. Sometimes our conversations stay too shallow. Sometimes we're afraid to be ourselves. Sometimes social media creates unrealistic comparisons. Sometimes we're surrounded by people who simply aren't our people. And sometimes we're emotionally exhausted. But the solution doesn't always mean finding more people. Sometimes it means creating better connections, being more honest, listening more carefully, spending less time comparing, finding people who share your values, and allowing yourself to be known.
Because you don't need a room full of people to feel connected. Sometimes one genuine conversation is enough to remind you, I'm not alone.
And if you've been feeling lonely lately, please don't use that feeling as proof that nobody cares about you. A feeling is real, but it isn't always a complete picture of reality. Take one small step. Reach out, talk, listen, and give connection a chance.
Now, We want to hear from you. When you feel disconnected from people, what helps you feel better? Is it talking to someone you trust, spending time with family, going outside, listening to music, or simply taking some time for yourself?
Share your thoughts in the comments. And remember, someone reading your comment might be experiencing the same thing. Your words could help them feel a little less alone.
If you found this conversation meaningful, give this video a like.
Share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And if you're new to Fluent Talk Academy, subscribe and become part of our growing community.
We explore real-life questions, human behavior, communication, and the ideas that shape our everyday lives.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. And thank you for every like, every comment, every share, and every subscription. Your support genuinely helps Fluent Talk Academy grow.
Take care of yourself.
And don't forget to check on the people you care about. Sometimes one simple message can make someone's entire day a little better.
We'll see you in the next conversation.
Goodbye, everyone.
Take care.